Okay. So in a nutshell, that we put in together collages and then looking at how things work and how do you see your concept art is going to be moved on and so on and so forth. So normally what I'll do is I will quickly do something like this, right? So this is to get the look and feel. I know it's not a great art, but yeah. So we'll start off with to pick up any games that I like of, and then eventually I will put together things and start drawing to first express myself. You know? Hello? What song was that? Hello? I I'm disconnected. Uh-huh. Hang on, Uh what? I'm disconnected. Can Hello? Okay, okay, cool. Anyway, because this I'm using two devices, right? So it's kind of got like it's kind of like switching one to another. Anyways, I'm gonna go here, look back at my screens, live. Now can see? Alright. So I'm gonna disconnect here first on my lappy lappy. Right. I'm gonna put it down. Right. So you can see here. This is like a quick kind of like a sketch that I did. I believe that you guys have seen this as well. Hang on. This is one to quick sketch to start off with to kickstart my idea. Okay. Right. So the goal here is first is for you to express yourself. So you can start off with a new you know drawing. It doesn't need to be. Make sure it is 150 at least. Yeah. So first thing you need to know, you have to build your world. That is your first thing that you need to do. So world. So what kind of world are you looking at? So first is to build a world. You need to know once you have already identified what kind of game that you're looking at, right? So remember the first thing that I told you before. So type of game, alright, platform, and then your target audience. Alright, of course here you can write the notes. Alright, right. Once you know all this already, okay, now you start doing your collage here. So from here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you start doing your mood board. Right? So once you get all this, then you move on to, you can see, right? Okay. Then you can move on to, okay, world. What kind of world that you're looking at? So you create a story. Number 5 is you create a story. So this story, either it can come from you alter it, or you follow existing ones, right? Existing game itself. So you don't need to crack your head too much. You understand? Right. So make sure it has all these elements. So first is world creation. Okay. After that, you've got the characters, environment, and then you've got your UI. Okay. So this is practically to state, okay, what kind of practically the ecosystem, right? And then what kind of cultural diversity that you want to have. What kind of culture, what kind of location, era, time, obstacles, and so on and so forth. The list goes on. Yeah. So with this, now you can have the character, right? So this is where you have all your, you know, oh, this is horrible, man. It doesn't matter. So this is where you start in, bring in all your images, lah, collection of your library, right? So culture, maybe you want to bring in, for instance, if you're looking at, I'm going to go to my R&D. So if you're looking at, for instance, what kind of culture that you're looking at, can see? Hello? Yeah. Okay, everyone is connected, right? Right. So put in together this kind of images all together. Different culture, different design. See the elements that they use, what kind of designs that they have. How they use their polka dots and so on and so forth. How they use their, uh, you know, uh, whatever that what you can extract from here. The patterns, the colors, the shapes, right? The elements that represents the culture. All this you can pick it up and then put it together, right? So the clothing, the dress codes, the makeup, right? The eyelashes, facial, uh, the structure, the facial expressions that they have, and so on. So you can go a little deeper. See, the difference is when you're doing a concept art, a concept design, as opposed to a normal, what they call concept artist outside there. If you can research and dive in a little further and say like it has its meaning to every design that you're making, then it is more valuable. Am I making sense? Yeah. I don't want y'all to just simply do something that is like, hey, I like this, but the function is not right at all. So why do they do this? What is the story behind each of these elements and so on? Making sense? So put all this together and collage it. Then you say, okay, first is who's the hero, right? This hero, I believe in character design they have already explained to you guys, right? So you have to build a persona. Who and what is the, okay, here is strength, weakness, purpose. This is the most important before you dive in deeper, right? So here, you all get it, right? Yes, no? Alright. So in this purpose, okay, first thing you identify this guy. right? What is the purpose of this character? If it's a hero, what he is planning to do. So don't go like, 1,000 characters. Pick one first, right? One main hero, number one. Then you can break down to multiple heroes. Make sense? If it's a guild, like for instance, if you're doing like for Overwatch or whatever not, it's a big team, am I right? But it start off with one first. One is the one that is going to drive. Who's the hit? It's like a president, like Donald Trump, right? So if you have like a PM or prime minister, whoever it is, a king or someone who's going to be the voice of the entire what they call uh, nation or whatever not. So find that guy first, right? So you don't need to go like super straight away deep. First is to identify what's the purpose of him. So he wants to save the world. Save from what? From whom? Right? So that's the question marks. Who, what, how, and so on and so forth. And then what's his goal? Keep it. If you're not sure, just write in at least 3 points for each of this. You get what I mean? So then it will be easier for you. Then moving on, who's number two? Sorry. Right? Who's the villain? Okay? Who's the villain? Right? So who's this? Who's the bad guy? Right? Bad guy lah. You need to know who, why, what's his purpose as well. Right? Pick one. Alright? So these two, pick one. The main one. Right? Then from here, before you elaborate more, right, what kind of environment that you are foreseeing? So is it you start off with one hub first. So one main hub, maybe a city, right? Then you move on to the forest, example. Then you move on to whatever, the plains, then the mountains. So you start off with one first. You get what I mean? Right? So one, two, because sometimes you'll get overwhelmed, right? So once you get a rough idea of what kind of levels that you kind of like you need to have in that particular uh, game and so on and so forth, it's easier for you. So this is what you're going to do for the first week. This week you're going to kickstart with this. Do a collection. Don't beat yourself too much. All right. Pick a game. If you like this, Ori means, then go for Ori. If you like Trine, or if you like whatever game that you like, you're fond of, pick that first. Identify what is needed for that game. Make sense? Yeah? And then put all this together, and then eventually you start off. Okay, when you start off something like, for instance, if you're looking at a simple, you start off with silhouettes. Okay, if it's a character, so this character is a nomad. He's just going in. Solid. See, simple and powerful. You kind of like need to know he's holding something. You get what I mean? Do some collection of drawings. You can take the movie, you can pick a movie, and then you can pick a game that has all the elements that if let's say you like, what movie you like? Give me an example. All right, Avengers. So what sort of game it is that you think that will be suitable? Street Fighter? Yeah, sort of right. So if Street Fighter is what they're looking at, it's this action pack hack and slash lah. And then it's versus one versus one and so on and so forth. It's a tournament event thingy. So pick something that is that can convey your convey the game that you intend to do. So you don't need to think about the game design. You get what I mean? Alright? The game design is already done by the game designers. You're not going to crack your head because game design is a huge thing. Got it? You're going to go game design, you're going to cry. That's big, right? So end of the day, like if it's too much in terms of game design, it's going to be overwhelming. Right? Game design has its own. I'm not going to start a lecture on game design because it's a huge thing. We can't finish a game design course in a 14 week. It needs to go on and on and on like crazy. Right? So this is something. Have you seen this? I'll share all these books with you guys. So this is practically an art Bible. It's Fable. Have you heard about this game? Right? So you need to have a story, right? What kind of story that you're looking? You're talking about a story. You don't need to go crazy, lah. Pick a story from the game, or if it's Marvel. So you want to enhance it. See, if you're doing like Marvel straight away, example, 100%, then you're practically digging your own grave, lah. Because you have to, uh, it's like apple to apple comparison. Make sense? So you change it, you alter it to your style. Sorry? I can't hear you clearly. Can you repeat it, please? Hello? Nat? Yeah. You need to complete something like this at the end of this module. The final project needs to be an art Bible. Yes, you can if it makes sense. But I want it to be enhanced. You get what I mean? So what you had before, it may not suit, or it may not say, hey, look, this is suitable for this game art. Alright? So if it's anime style, yes, fine. For me, I don't care. Whatever style it is, it doesn't matter, as long as it has a commercial value. We are talking about commercial, real life. It's not just for hey fun, just doing. Am I making sense? Whatever style that you're picking, end of the day you alter it and put your signature. You get what I mean? Yeah. You need to have okay. This is my style. I have okay. Miyazaki is something that I like. I'm fond of. So I really want to use Miyazaki style. So yeah, fine. You're doing Miyazaki style. But what is your take? Making sense? Yeah. So what is your style? What is your uniqueness? You know. So for me, it's if anime is great, but don't like go apple to apple like it's your attracting comparison and then you're making yourself tiny because it's proven outside there. Hello, hello. Yeah, okay. Right. So if it's like Marvel or Disney and so on and so forth, it's there, correct? So if you go and fight with something that is, I'm not saying that you're not you're not skillful or whatever not, but why have that? Where is your signature? Okay, be innovative. I'm not saying that don't copy elements that is enough to enhance your art. Okay, in a nutshell. So write a story, blah blah blah, and all that. See, I always look at Fable. It's not the greatest game, but the art direction and the art Bible. It kind of like it tells you, you know, every explanation is thoroughly, given, and then it explains to you why and how these characters are being laid out, the environment, the style of it. Make sense? Right. So don't get beaten up by the arts that a lot of them can do, really in a bombastic manner. But everyone is unique. You are unique. I will help you to enhance your art as much as I can from my end. Yeah, your presentation for you to be able to go and pitch and land a job that is not going to be easy, especially in our entertainment. So it's not. You need to be versatile. You need to be strong in your ideation. You need to be able to express it with confidence, with purpose. You get what I mean? Yeah. So these are things that you can put together. Putting together beautiful arts, no problem. But to do it, it will take time. Am I right? Yeah. It's easy to say. It's easy to say, hey, just do this, do this, do this, do this. But it's not. I'm being realistic here and being more factual here. Right? So rough out your ideation processes first. Got it? So this week, go and look for your ideas and come out with a proposal. Right? Okay. The end of by next Monday, all right, you have initiated what you are intending to do by then. All right. So by Monday, you have next Monday, the following week, week two, you have an idea already. Right? You know what type of game, what platform, and then how are we going to go about it? Right? Weapon design. See, everything is in Tara. Posters by itself, social media, marketing stuff, and so on. This one is extras lah. Okay, we are not going to do this because this involves a lot more, bigger team. Individual cannot, but you can do, characters, environment. These two very important in the concept. Okay, any questions? Yes. You can do vector, you can do pixel art. Yeah. You get what I mean? Vector means if you want to use Illustrator, go ahead and use Illustrator. For me, I don't care, as long as it's good. You get what I mean? I don't mind any of these mediums that you're looking at. But in terms of character, right? So if you're asking for character, at least one main character, uh, hero, the boss, right? So you're talking about hero, one main hero, and then maybe the boss, and then the say the comrades, the minions. So you're talking about like 5 6 characters. So first you list out how many characters that you want to build. Okay, don't what they call limit yourself with one or a specific number of character. Can we do that first? Yeah. The reason why I'm asking you to do that is then later we can filter. Can? Yeah. yeah, it can be a monster, it can be whichever. You know what I mean? So, but as long as you don't give me smoke lah, just a smoke or maybe a light. It's like, hey, this is the villain, this is the boss. It's like, okay, so fine. If it's the eye in the Lord of the Ring, so maybe the eye is different. I don't know. You get what I mean? So this is this how it is lah. So first and foremost, you just go ahead and just go and find a game that is that you can have fun with. Please don't force yourself and do something that is going to be like I'm being forced to do something that is like you get what I mean? Yeah. So if you're going to go like it's ridiculous lah. You know, if you're just going to force yourself and say, hey, I'm going to do you know uh, a game that is like solitaire and it's like what else some more. Just for the sake of doing. Why waste time? Yeah. So find something that is gonna make you smile. Okay. Can. Yeah. So if you can see like Darksiders, if you like Darksiders, you really like gore stuff, but don't like do gore that is not acceptable. You understand? Don't do something that is gore means you cannot even read what is happening. You know there is a niche in every genres, right? I'm not against any specific genres. I'm open. This is Darksiders is a little bit heavy. Uh-huh. But it's quite cool, right? So have a look at all this. You explore this week, you play game. I mean, I believe you guys play game, right? Everyone plays game sometimes. Okay. Go and do some research, please. Yeah. So it's okay. Uh, I mean, I don't have time to play games as well. Yeah. So I'm going to share all these books with you guys. Yeah. Please have a look at it. All right. And then see if you can find what is in favor to you or makes you feel better. Go ahead for that particular game. So yeah. If like me, I've got about 47 games in I think 40 plus games. But yet, I'm not playing any of this game. I just play for a while and then that's about it. Right. Get Steam, get into Steam. You don't need to buy a game. You all are not rich all the time to buy things, right? So save your money as much as you can. I don't want you all to spend like crazy. But have a look at games like get into Steam. Maybe you can get oh this is good. Just been you like this kind of serious games or cartoonic games, you can have a look at the art. Sorry, you're far away, Ned. Can you come a little closer? Oh yeah, yeah. If you like Spider-Man, go ahead for it. Whatever type of game that is, you know, you like. You see, sometimes your mood swings. You like this, hand painted style, not that heavy in terms of in terms of its contrast. And this is nice. So you may like this. You may like something that is like this dude, Darksiders. You know, like I said just now, it's going to be quite heavy in terms of its contrast and looks and so on and so forth. So yeah, there's so many things. All right, have a look at it. Don't limit yourself. Explore. You guys have to explore. So this week, go and explore. Put things together. Yeah, making sense? Yeah. So you don't need to go and buy lah. But I get like for me, I get all this to study games. You got no time. You must be nuts to go and play all this. And by the way, this is my game. Uh, the reason why I'm showing you support lah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So this was done in Malaysia fully from scratch. All Malaysians. This was the first console game before Lemon Sky and all that lah. So have a look at it. I mean, there's options around here. You've got so many things. This one is crazy. This is good. Yeah. So you see, I may like something that I'm fond of. You may like something that you are into. So things are not similar to everything, but you need to have quality output. Making sense? Yeah. So that's the whole goal of mine. You know my style. You've been in my classes and all that, right? So I'm not asking you to fake yourself and say, hey, look, do something that, but do with open heart, yeah, and with fun and with with happiness. Don't kill yourself. So this week, go and play a game and get to know this is damn very good, but just at no time. All this is nice. I wish I can just play game. But anyways, uh, yep, have fun, right? So that's about it for today. So any questions before we end the class? No specification. You choose. Okay? But make sure it is quality, right? Uh, my recommendation, though, I will have recommendations, right? So if you're going to go anything, any games, I don't want you all to go and do this. Hey, let's play just this. You get what I mean? Because you want to showcase your character design skills and all that. Come on, don't do this. You get what I mean? Go a little bit more extensive, a little, you know. See, you go from something that is, how would I say, um, that you can express your character design skills, your skills. You make sense? Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. It's not about I don't know I like this and so on, but do it with it proper. See, when you do something that is like I'm looking at big stuff that is very difficult to do, then I can stylize it in proper. So there's a way of stylizing things. Don't straight away I want to take a shortcut and then I want to do an art that is like okay, you get what I mean? Yeah. Right. So please go and play games and list down first, and then let's discuss. Right. So by Wednesday, this Wednesday, you have a rough idea first. Okay, you can just play around, maybe just do some doodles or collection of stuff. Maybe give some options. Say pick three games, three kind of games that you want to do, game art, right? You don't need to go and do a art direction straight away, whatever not, right? But just put a list, and then in a point form, and then during our Wednesday practical class, Thursday, then we can discuss. Hey, uh, is this good to go with, and so on and so forth. Happy? All right. choose three different types of games. Can? Alright, cool. Everyone happy, yeah? Catherine, Celine, Enos, Felicia. Okay. Isaac. Alright. Joanna, Julius. Alright. Nat, Una. WhatsApp is better. WhatsApp better. Before Vision. I'll put it in the classroom. I'll also I will also put here in our Discord. Say and also times. Okay, so three places will have all this, as well as the teams. So you got four places. Still cannot get the video, then then I'll be crying. We'll try to reach out because we understand that some of you may not get what they call what they call applications cannot work in your country and so on. Yeah, so we'll put it in all these platforms so you can just pick it up from there. Yeah, right, cool. So thank you guys and stay safe.